Kristin here with another What's Up Wednesday. This one I want to talk to you about collaboration in your Google Workspace for education. So whenever I go through these tips and tricks, I want you to think about both students and teachers and anyone that might be involved in the learning environment. All right, first of all, I'm going to go through several shared collaborative models, but I want you to consider things like building a project, an assignment, or just even students working together, give each other feedback, or just if you want to flip your classroom. So don't limit yourself on what this could include. All right, so I think the obvious ones that most teachers are going to already think of and know of would be a shared Google Doc or slides, because students can create a slide, a doc, and it forms really anything in the Google platform, and then they can share it so they can have shared collaborators. Also, we can do this with forms and sheets too, so don't have any kind of hesitation of what you can give your kids the freedom to do. So I want to show you an example of one. So this is a narrative story that I had students do in 8th grade, and it was just, we had been writing so much, and the kids were just losing their momentum. They were just beat down. So I decided, after working with another teammate, she had this in her classroom and it went really well. So I decided to create a prompt, create the expectations, create timers, and do a shared writing, which I did not think I would love, but it turned out so good, y'all. So there's my prompt. Here's the expectations. I gave them color codes. So I gave them the beginning, and then every color below you can see would be the other students. They would collaborate. So they would type for 3 or 4 minutes and then do the same thing. Type, watch, edit, all those things. So it was a back and forth till they had their whole story. So I liked that I used the color coding. That way I could really see without having to go into version history. It's just a little tip. All right, another one I have right here is a narrative analysis. So this would be more of a slide. So it's kind of a similar assignment. Obviously, I taught ELA if you hadn't figured out yet. So if I wanted to do slides, these can get messy, just like any kind of shared assignment, but I would make sure that you establish those expectations for whatever your assignment is. So this could be teachers, students. No matter what, you want to have expectations so it doesn't turn into just a mess. So for this particular one, I have 4 different colors. You could have more depending on how many kids you have. I just did gradient colors. And then I specifically told students that each of you has a color. If you are a teal, then you have this part of the assignment. If you are green, you have this. Purple, red, the same thing. So they had their own portion, and they did not have to worry about, okay, well, if my group member who is purple didn't do their work, it's going to hurt me. They are responsible for a certain part, and together they build something. Okay, moving on. Google Classroom is another place that we can collaborate very, very easily. Obviously, teachers work with kids in Google Classroom. That's a known. But think about this for collaborating with your peers, with your colleagues, with people within your school and across the district. I know one of my colleagues was a CTO of her district, and so she actually created a Google Classroom for people in the similar position across the state of Louisiana. It's very easy to do. You create a class. If you don't have one already, go ahead and create, put your names, your details. But once you have one, all you got to do is add your people, add your teachers. If somebody's a teacher, they can do things just like you. But I just think it's a really powerful space to be able to share plays, share work, share ideas, share assignments. And think about, we have these places for students. Why does it have to be just isolated to your first block ELA? Why can't you have like a separate group of students that are working on a specific project? So think of it outside the box. So you can create a cohort of students and they build stuff together in a classroom. All right, Google Forms. I just did some graphics to kind of show you that you can obviously create quizzes, collaborate with your peers on that, teachers rather, your colleagues can work together to create. Kids can create this, exit tickets, they can vote, create assignments, do a pulse check of where you are, and obviously you can use the results from a forms to create graphic organizers and have kids analyze results. So that in itself, think outside of forms being a quiz. It is a huge collaboration tool, especially if you want to flip the classroom. Let the kids do something with a Google form. All right, last thing, I'm trying not to make this too long. Obviously, I can go into these in great detail. Jamboard is so fun, y'all, but it can get out of control. So I will go into this by saying that this is a fabulous collaboration space. So easy. However, kids can really, if they don't have their expectations and have an opportunity to go in it before it's like an official assignment, it can get out of hand. For instance, everybody has the same controls, and I can just hit this next button and I've just created a fourth slide. So what I always did in my classroom is I would say, okay, this side of the classroom, you're on slide 1. This side of the classroom, you're slide 2, and you're slide 3. So I would make them know which slide they're going to in the Jamboard. You share it with them. And so I did my specific, I always had a model. So add a sticky note with your name at the top and include your idea. So they had to put their name, and then together they would brainstorm how to build a presentation. So this would be a great way to collaborate, and you just have those expectations in place where, okay, you can all drag each other's sticky notes around, but just don't. Like, just move yours where it can be seen. Jamboard is really great. You can Google or search a lot of different topics for that. All right, so just last minute tips. Whenever you have a student collaborated model or project, have one student create it and another one is added and it's shared with them. So you have an owner and then you have somebody in there collaborating. Students and teachers or whoever's working, everybody work toward a common task, assign roles, use a timer in a classroom, make sure that you're floating with the groups, establish clear expectations. This is number 1. I should have put that at the top. And then, of course, monitor and actively give feedback, because even though students or teachers or colleagues might be working together, if you give feedback, then people will know that they're on the right track. All right, and so here's my contact information. Now I just challenge you to go use your Google Workspace for Education to do something great. Happy Wednesday.